what we have to do is find another way. Find another way. I realized that instead of me putting all of my energy into becoming the perfect little slave for you, how about I put all of my energy into me being the perfect little slave for myself? Instead of sulking whenever they're hurting you, take that time and rebuild yourself. Take that time and motivate yourself. Look for other ways to make income. Look for another way to do things without being within the system. You're tired? That's on purpose. You're burnt out? That's on purpose. You're stressed out? That's on purpose. Because if you're all of those things, you have no time to do anything else. When you're stressed out, you feel like you don't have time to work for yourself. But when they're putting you down, take that time to rebuild yourself up. Okay? Because they're not putting you in the system to build you up out of the system. No, no, no. Once you become theirs, you must always be theirs. So that means they tell employees when they come in the door, CCAs, city carrier assistants, that you're going to get a part-time position. That, okay, I still got some flexibility. I can still do what I want, get my dreams done, and I can still make some money on the side. So you're giving them some hope. But then when you get them in the door, you start slamming it on them, bringing them in, putting them to work for 70 hours a week. Hold up, this ain't part-time. This is not part-time. So then you're stressing them out. They're tired. They're overworked. They're burnt out. And then what do? They leave. And then you got the ones that's already in there, have been in there for years, are being programmed to be the perfect person to do the job. And they're getting mad at the young ones because the young ones want more for their lives. What I realize is that I could have been sulking. And yes, I was hurt. Yes, I went through a lot of financial torment from this place. I went through a lot of mental torment from this place. But I said, you know what? I am not about to continue to keep going through this. I am going to advance my life. I am going to learn some new skills. And I'm going to show up in those new skills. You don't have to go back to school to get it all figured out. But what you can do is figure out what you're good at and learn how to advance those skills. So that way that you can be amazing. That you don't have to just depend on that 9 to 5. It's just a mind game. It's just a mind game. They keep you stressed out so that you can continue to keep coming in here and putting the rest of the efforts that you do have left into working for them. They're going to work the dog mess out of you. And then you're not going to want to do anything else for yourself. That's the system. That's the way the system was built up. That's the way the system is. And when we actually realize that that's the way that the system is, we won't sit around here thinking to ourselves, if I beg hard enough, they're really going to give me what I want. Because that's not the way the system was set up. They already know what they're going to give you. They don't want to pay you because they don't think that you're worth it. And then you're sitting around here begging them for it, which lets them know that you know you're not worth it. And I said to myself, do you want to continue to keep begging, or do you want to continue to build for yourself? And the answer is, I want to build for myself. And I'm going to take you guys on this journey because you can do the same thing. It does not have to be hard. Okay? They make it seem like you got to go back to school and do all this extra stuff, but you do not. You just have to have the willingness to learn. Okay? Just like you were willing to learn how to be the perfect worker for somebody else. Now you're going to learn how to be the perfect worker for yourself. And you can start by talking about the process, talking about your experiences, talking about what it's done for you and how it can help someone else. What have you been through that got you to where you are now? Talk about it. Talk about what you're going through right now on these platforms. Start by talking about it. I know that there's a lot of people on here that want to talk about it, right? You want to talk about the pain that you're going through. And you want a support team. You want a support system. That's what we're all here for. When I realized that, for me, this is like my personal diary. I know that sounds crazy. It's like, girl, you would put all your business out there and your personal, like, this is how you leave your legacy behind. Seems very small right now. But guys, this channel is at 108 subscribers. I am super grateful, y'all. You guys have been there for me. Like, when I was just putting it out there. When I just was talking and just needed somebody to listen to me, that's what I did. I got on here and I talked about it. But I can also say that came through learning new skills. Learning how to put myself in a better light. Advancing my knowledge on things. I will say it all starts within you, right? It all starts within you. And we have to set the goals that we want. We have to dream about what we want. It doesn't happen until you ask for it. It doesn't happen until you say, hey, I'm willing and I'm ready to accept it. I know that it's there for me. There's no doubt about it. I just have to step into it. And all else will be revealed. All else will be revealed. We have to follow what we know is the way to go. That's within us. We don't need to go to anybody else for that. The source is within us, in each and every one of us. So we just need to become more dependent on ourselves. When you're tired and you don't feel like doing it, instead of going to sleep, learn a new skill. Take a couple of minutes to learn something new. Because usually what happens is you get in these jobs and you kind of become dormant. And you just feel like you have to have them. But there, you can have yourself too. Okay? It's really just meant to help you get to where you're supposed to be, but not to really just stay. Now, if you're trying to stay, that means that you're trying to become dependent on them. But you're not supposed to be dependent on anything but yourself. So that's what you have to remember. I was asleep for a second there. I ain't gonna lie. I was asleep for a second. Thinking that this was the perfect job. Thinking that things were great. Thinking that everything was going to be amazing and everything was going to turn out and be okay. But then I had a rude awakening. And I had to wake up. And I said, oh, no, no, no. I'm putting too much. I'm giving you too much. And this is the way that you treat me. No, we have to think about it for a second. Like, hold up now. You want me to give you 40, 50 plus years of my life? And this is how you're going to treat me for that time in my life? No, instead of me being treated like that, I'll learn a new skill. I'll advance myself. And I'll do this for myself. Because the same way that they're selling their service, you're selling their service for them. When you go to that place, whether you're on the phone, whether you're delivering the mail, whether you're engaging with a customer, whatever you're doing, you're still selling the service for whatever you're doing. So why not do that for yourself? What are you good at? What do you like doing? Figure it out, advance at it, and don't be lazy about it. I don't feel like doing it because it's going to take me this much time. Well, find another map. Find another way. Okay? Because it does not always have to involve you going to school for 12 years of your life. I mean, you'll always want to forever learn because that's how you'll always forever advance. But it does not have to involve going to school for, a very long time. You can take courses that can advance you. You can also, get into a trade school or an online school. There's other ways for you to do it, but don't make I don't have the education the reason why you don't feel like you can do anything other than doing what you're doing now. If you have a vision to want to do something, then do it. I like content creation. I just really enjoy it. And I don't just do it for face. I do it for faceless channels as well. And, you use those faceless channels to promote your products because that is an easy way to, get what you want out there without your face being all over everything. Okay? But I also enjoy being face forward too. I also enjoy being on here talking to you guys face forward because I just like having this personal diary, talking with you all about things that are relevant, that I feel are relevant, because the only way that we're going to know about it is if we talk about it. The only way that those books were written in the Bible, as they say, is because they talked about it. They talked about their experience. Nobody knew what they were doing. They had to talk about it. So if you really want somebody to know what you're doing, and you really want somebody to hear you, or you want somebody to see your side or your point of view, then talk about it. And put yourself on a platform to do so. Because these platforms are not just made for you to get on here and scroll and have a good time scrolling. If you inspire to do something, then, you just got to put in the efforts. And you got to tell yourself that, I see what's going on. And instead of crying and boohooing about it, I'm going to change it for myself. So I know I went on a rant there. Like I said, I am so grateful for you all for being on board with me and going through this journey with me. I know that it is going to continue to be amazing and continue to be great. You must speak those things into your life which you want. If you tell yourself that you're going to have nothing but, cloudy days, then that's all you're going to have. But if you tell yourself that sunshine is coming, I know that it's going to be an amazing day. I'm going to live on that. I'm going to stand on that. I know that the sun is coming. I know that the sun is coming. I know that the sun is coming. Then the sun has no choice but to come. It's when we doubt ourselves and make ourselves feel like there is no way that it can happen, then there is no way for it to happen. You got to believe in it. And while I was going through all my pain, yes, in the very beginning, I was like, you know what? I got to deal with this mess for the rest of my life. And then I had to say, no, you don't. No, you don't. You owe it to yourself to put a bet in on you. You've been betting on everybody else. Now you must look back at yourself and see what you can do for yourself. Finish what you started for yourself. Because a lot of us get into these jobs and we already have things going on, and then we get busy, tied up into their schedules. Tell me if I'm wrong. And then you forget about everything that you was doing before you came there. So this is that reminder to finish what you started. Not just what you started for somebody else, but what you started for yourself. I thank y'all for listening to me, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.